All right, this is going to be a quick summary of the content reveal for Dawn of the Hunt that we got today. Just not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it and try and fire this off quick in one take. So, for starters, we're getting the patch notes next week, as well as we're getting another dev interview stream with Jonathan and Mark. It'll be on Darth Microtransactions Twitch channel, and later it'll be on Gazzy's YouTube channel. Um, there will be nerfs. We weren't sure if we're going to change things. Yes, in fact, they will be nerfing things. They said something along the lines of uh, things will not, if the way they are now, things will be changed significantly. They not to the way they're not right now. As well, they mentioned that they're looking to make some changes to ascendancies. I don't know what ascendancies in specific, but I'm sure that's all going to be in the patch notes. And obviously, the stream started off with the reveal of the Huntress, which also obviously told us that's the only class that we're getting for now. Um, which, not to get off topic here, a lot of people had hopium that we might be also getting the Druid. I myself was one of those folks that had hope that because it might maybe it fit in with the theme of this hunt patch, but regardless of that, that's not the case. That'll come later. Regardless, it's going to be an incredible patch. Very much looking forward to the Huntress. They revealed some new skills. They mentioned the first skill you'll start off with is Whirling Slash, and there's other skills that they featured. They didn't feature all of them, but they featured a few, including Twisters, which are like tornadoes you can send out. And if you manage to send the Twisters out within this area of the Whirling Slash, you'll send out multiple Twisters instead of just one singular Twister. And you can create like cold Twisters, fire Twisters, lightning Twisters, depending on the damage or the element that you're using. They also talked about and featured the parry mechanic when you're using a shield, lightning spear, which you can also impale into the ground, and it works as like a lightning conduit of sorts. And there's other kind of spear skills that do the same thing that you can impale into the ground and cause effects and radiating AoE effects to the enemies. They featured a couple bleed skills, including Rake and Rapid Assault. Rapid Assault, we did see they featured that in ExileCon. That's like that rapid 1 2 3 thrusting, and it apparently causes a big bleed at the end of the final thrust. They showed Stormlance, Thunderous Leap. Stormlance, I think, was one of those conduit abilities, and you can Thunderous Leap into the Stormlance to magnify it and to create a bigger effect. And then they featured another skill, which I don't know if it's a ascendancy specific thing or if it's just a huntress skill specific skill, but it's summon beast, and so you can summon. It's quite cool. If you haven't seen it, you can summon a beast in a rare beast, and have it to be your companion for a period of time. And so you can be very picky about selecting which sort of rare monster, more powerful rare monster, whatever you can find. Um, there's 22 new Huntress skills. They did not feature all of them, but very much looking forward to getting my hands on that and getting into that Javazon playstyle, man. Oh, jeez. It's going to be so good, man. We also learned that they're adding three new ascendancies for the existing classes. One for the warrior, which is the Smith of Kitava, which you're literally a blacksmith, and you can drop an anvil inside the map to kind of imbue your weapon with like this Kitava magic. You can also, and with the addition to the ascendancy, you can also summon like a weapon of Kitava. This like imbue weapon that's all like a minion of sorts that can attack with you alongside. So that looks quite cool, and that's for the warrior. For the witch, they have the lich, and for the mercenary, we have the tactician. The tactician is basically just your support. Very good in party play. Can drop banners to increase your allies' attack damage. and yeah, just high focus on support. There's a really cool ascendancy node for the tactician that basically you have like these minions off screen, these officers, these other archers off screen that you can bombard the field with arrows. It looks so cool, and oh my god. But as far as ascendancies, that's what we're getting. The two for the huntress and the three for the warrior, the witch, and the mercenary. They finally showed us Spectre, the Spectre gem. That's finally ready and coming to the patch. It costs spirit and it's based on the monster's power. You know, you can summon a bunch of weaker power monsters that are going to cost less spirit, or you can spend a whole bunch of spirit to summon just one big, powerful, you know, rare monster. They also, after that, they showed the summon Roa, which is a you can mount on a Roa, and it's based on your own movement speed, and it reserves 60 spirit. And they featured it. I think it was like a level 14 gem, and it costed 133 dex. So not sure if everyone's going to be able to add that in or want to add that into their slew of supported skills, but that's super cool and it looked great. 100 new support gems, over 100 new support gems coming, as well as over 100. It's very important to that's what they said. Over 100 new support gems, which is just huge. That's going to open up a lot of options for other gems that were kind of lacking in that department of support gems. And then also over 100 new uniques, which they emphasized for mid to end game. And that's really good because I feel like that's what PoE 2 is lacking right now is like great options, great chase items for the end game, the mid to end game. So that's great to see. They said crafting options will continue to be added and improved. After later on in the Q&A with Ziggy D, they talked about, that's their intention, with every new content update, every new end game mechanic maybe that gets added, there will be a crafting system associated with it. So that's great, and that's basically how it's been for PoE 1 up until now. We've seen all these things over the years be added to the game, and here it is now in its masterpiece of a game, of a state. We talked about runes, and now that runes will now have multiple tiers instead of just the same. There'll be tiers of them, higher tiers and more different affixes on them as well. So that's great to see. There's also going to be, I think I'll talk about this a little later on, but I guess now that I'm on the topic of runes, there's also going to be I don't know if they're unique runes, but they're runes that will drop from a mechanic that they're introducing into this patch, which is wisps. There's going to be I guess that's the next thing on the list here. Wisps are added to the campaign in the end game. They can possess rare or unique enemies, rare or unique monsters. There's primal wisps, which I think is grants the monsters increased life and gives them some sort of effect, and it possesses the monster. It's not like how it's the same. Basically, it's the same from PoE 1, except they're actually like the wisps are possessing the monster. It's essentially like wisp plus tormented spirit together. Because these wisps will target just one. From what they've shown in the reveal, it's just they possess one rare or unique enemy. And yeah, there's vivid, primal, and sacred wisps are the very rare, less likely to see wisp, and they can. What did they say? They can upgrade all normal monsters to magic, all magic monsters to rare, and they can even turn rare monsters into map bosses, which is so cool. Like, geez. So that's nice. It's. I had a feeling we'd see wisps be introduced. It just kind of made sense, and it just plays into the whole Dawn of the Hunt and the thematic. So yeah, excited for that, and there's going to be support for this mechanic on the Atlas tree in addition to the other ones that we'll be getting into here. Um, New socketable items can drop from wisps, which are these new runes that'll have new effects. Like, for example, they showed One that's immune to corrupted blood, gain rage on melee hit, and other similar sort of things like that that weren't available on the other runes. They showed seven. They announced that there's 7 new areas, new endgame maps. One of them that will always have wisps in them. It's like an Asmiri map centered around this Dawn of the Hunt, the huntress, the huntress's like home, her area that she was exiled from. We've got new encounters, rogue exiles, strong boxes, the wisps as I talked about, and expedition has been improved, and there's something new that's linked to expedition that we'll get into later. But rogue exiles, there's 12 different rogue exiles, and the way the exiles work is whatever if you can tell like they're wearing a certain unique item and you manage to kill that exile, it will literally drop the items they're wearing. So like let's just say an ingenuity, right? If they just happen to be wearing an ingenuity and you manage to kill them, it's not like in PoE 1 where you kill a rare or a rogue exile and they drop just a random assortment of rare loot. They'll literally drop whatever items that has generated on them and what they're wearing, which is unreal. How cool is that? And they said it's going to feel like a real player versus player experience. So very keen to see Rogue Exiles in PoE 2. It's been something that's been on my wish list for a while. Um, Essences have also been improved, and you can now vol the imprisoned monsters. And they introduced 4 new corrupted essences. The 4 that we are familiar from, that you might be familiar from PoE 1: Hysteria, Delirium, Horror, and Insanity. Although they're the same ones from PoE 1, they do not behave or act the same as those ones. They'll work a little bit differently. For example, one of them was something about the next Vol Orb you use will guarantee 2 corrupted implicits. Um, Not sure how accessible those will be. I think they mentioned too about the greater essences and just essences overall are going to be more accessible. They were so hard to find, especially the greater essences. They were so hard to find. So that's great to hear, and to see these new essences added will provide more, I guess, interesting outcomes. We'll be getting 10 extra Atlas passive points to go along with the larger, more improved Atlas tree for a total of 40 points now. They've got Rogue Exiles on there now, strong boxes, um, probably likely some of the same stuff we had from the past, um, and as well as the wisps. The wisps will be on there as well, so you can juice your maps with the wisps, whatever you want. They introduced 4 new unique strong boxes. Two of them. They revealed 2 of them, and for the other 2, we'll have to wait and see and find them on our own. But they look cool. They look great, and much needed. Providing us with more options, more just opportunity to look at that. You know what I mean? And so new strong boxes are very welcome. The Atlas progression has just been changed. So now what's going to happen is basically you'll encounter this corruption just like you did before, but you'll need to cleanse this corruption. But it's not like they're taking a different approach. Now you're going to complete the map, and now you're at the end of the map. This boss will spawn. You might recognize the boss from PoE 1 of the Scourge League or the Beyond boss. So you kill that boss, and then you'll cleanse that map, and also you'll be cleansing the area around that map as well. And then those maps that have been cleansed are now cleansed maps. And in the cleansed maps, there'll be new monsters, there's a new boss, and you'll be able to drop fracturing orbs, which was PogChamp to see live on the reveal. Because that's going to open up a lot more crafting options and opportunity to create some really great items. And if you don't know what a fracturing orb does, we're here in PoE 1, and I'm just on Standard League here just to give you a demonstration of how a fracturing orb works. So you can use them on rare items, and the item has to have at least 4 modifiers. And all you do is go, and so let's say you'd like to craft this item, and we all know how hard crafting can be, and fracturing orbs enables it to make it a little bit easier, because what it does is it locks an affix in place. So let's say, I'm not happy with this item, but I do want that fire resist. So what I could do is take my chance with a fracturing orb and try and lock that fire resist in place. And then I can continue to craft on that item without worrying about losing the fire resist. So here we go. Don't know what we're going to fracture, but let's hope we get the fire resist. And look at that. And so there we go. That's how you use a fracturing orb, and this is how they'll work, just as they work in PoE 1. And they mentioned about the drop rate being, you know what, I can't recall, but they'll drop in the cleansed maps. And so there you go. Hope that helps. That's how fracturing orbs work. So yeah, cleansed maps, new bosses, new monsters. After you cleanse a corrupted map, you'll cleanse the area, a small area, and there you go. That's where you can get fracturing orbs. They drastically reduced the number of towers. This was huge. They saved this for the end. Obviously, towers was a big topic of discussion. A lot of people not too pleased with. And here they are revising it again. And what they're doing is drastically reducing the number of towers on the Atlas. It's so great. Am I still not a fan of towers? No, I'd rather just not. But this makes me happy, and it's much improved. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this change in the comments. And but yeah, what they're doing is reducing the number of towers significantly on the map, and as a result, they're much more powerful. You can juice them much more. There's going to be unique tablets, and as you progress, you can unlock up to three. Just unlike on before, you just had the one tablet slot in each tower. You can unlock up to three tablet slots in each tower, uh, to allow for more juicing. And yeah, they revealed that there's going to be a number of unique tablets to be able to insert into the towers. They revealed some new bosses within the towers. Obviously, they revealed in the past too that all types of content, breach, delirium, I assume, can be spawned into the towers. So yeah, I'd rather not have towers in the game, but this is a great change, and I'm excited to see this live. Yeah, so. And then they talked about like the death penalty, I suppose, like the whole debate between the six portal, one portal thing. So what they came to was early in your map progression, you're going to have your six portals, and you can re-enter without penalty. But as you progress into higher tier maps, you won't have as many portals, and eventually it'll come down to you'll just be back to one portal. You're reducing the portals in as you progress in map tiers. Um, so that's, I guess, a compromise. And I can understand, like, it's their idea about you work you progress your character enough to the point where your defenses and everything's in check and you're not dying. So you know what I mean. So yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good compromise. Maybe it gets changed again, who knows, but we'll have to see how that plays out. For the pinnacle bosses, there'll now be no experience penalty, and you won't gain experience. So you don't have to worry about losing experience. You can just go in, and they've already got the changes to the. You get a certain amount of portals based on the difficulty of the pinnacle boss. It's not just one portal, just like it was in the maps. There's also reliquary keys associated with the pinnacle bosses, and they talked about that the uniques that drop from pinnacle bosses can drop at lower levels as well, at any level, not just at certain levels. So that's super cool. I don't know if there's going to be new uniques from the pinnacle bosses themselves. Maybe that's going to be from the one of the over 100 new uniques. And lastly, we got recombinators. We got recombinators in Path of Exile 2. Did not expect this. Uh, there was some talk about possibly seeing alterations come to Path of Exile 2. Apparently, there was some video, and there was a lot of chatter about that. That did not happen, but we got recombinators, and you're going to unlock the recombinator after your first expedition, and you'll need to fuel. In order to fuel the recombinator, you'll need to do more expedition. You'll need to get the expedition currency or whatever it may be. So wow, that's cool. Um, and yeah, I looking forward to what else they'll add to the crafting systems as we get more content. But this is a damn big patch. Um, Myself, I'm so very excited to play the Huntress. Oh my god, man. Let me know what you guys think, but the Huntress looks great. The Ascendancies, very like specifically the Amazon, right? It's that Javazon playstyle. Like, dude, oh my god. So that's all I can think about. I'm ready to go on Friday for the launch. I'll be there. But I just wanted to talk about lastly, there's a lot of speculation about what we might get. I made a video myself about what I hope. I'm not holding my breath on what I hope we might get. Um, some of these things was obviously the alterations that I talked about. What was some other stuff? Obviously the Druid. I had high hopes that the Druid might be released because it kind of felt like it could tie into this whole theme and patch with the Huntress. We were wrong about that. It's fine. We'll get them another time down the road. Um, didn't expect the Recombinator though. Wow, that's something else. Oh, the other one was Bestiary, right? I thought for sure we'd be getting Bestiary. I think a lot of people too, or some form of Bestiary, some rework of some kind. Because again, the dawn of the hunt, Einhar, hunting beasts, capturing beasts. Um, it's all good. It's all good. It's just it's fun to speculate and to see if we hit it on that button or not. So I think that's about it. I think that about summarizes the stream. I don't think I missed anything. I think I tried to cover all the important stuff, all the stuff that matters. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the content, what you like, what you don't like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.